The Afternoon Update with Lynlee Foo.
A very good afternoon to you. Thanks for joining me on the Afternoon Update. Now, as part of Singapore's National AI Strategy 2.0, Singapore aims to triple its AI workforce to 15,000 by training locals and hiring from overseas. With that, the need to upskill and to learn new and diverse skills has accelerated, and there is now more urgency for an updated workforce in Singapore. On Industry Insight, we look into how companies are stepping up their game in terms of digitalisation. To tell us more, we have our guest from Temus, a digital transformation technology company that is committed to supporting digitalisation across the private and public sectors. Yeoh, CEO of Temus, joins me now. Welcome, Casey.
Thank you, Lynn. Nice to be here.
Now, we know that Temus is a digital transformation technology company, and for the benefit of our listeners who may not be familiar what that means, could you contextualize what this is exactly and why it's important?
Surely. So if we take a look at Singapore's Smart Nation vision, there are three components: a digital government, a digital economy, and a digital society. And many companies today aspire to be a digital company or say they are already one. But why do many digital transformation programs fail? There's a misconception that it's all about technology. And to be told, technology is actually the easy part. It's really looking at the strategy, the business model, and taking iterative steps to look at where technology can fit in. The second challenge is about the shortage of digital talent. And I think you mentioned and highlighted the challenge here. Temus aspires to unlock economic and societal value through digital transformation in private and public sector. And to that end, we provide what we call vision to value, which means we start off with strategy and advisory, but we go all the way through to implementation, including technology and our own AI and data team. Secondly, we also have set up our own technology talent program called Step It Up, which addresses the shortages in this area, especially with regards to a small country like Singapore.
Yes, I was going to ask you that. I understand that you have that digital career conversion program called Step It Up, and it's actually for people with no tech experience. Could you share more about the genesis of the program and perhaps how it's helping with digitalization efforts?
Certainly, and we were very deliberate because we thought the red ocean today is about people who are already in the tech field, who already have the qualification and the skills. They're in high demand, and companies are quite frankly poaching from each other. We wanted to reach out into the blue ocean and take those without any IT skills and specifically give them the relevant experience and skill sets necessary so they could join the digital workforce. And that was the genesis of the program.
Okay. So I hear that through future runs of this program, you hope to also hire, place and train a few hundred tech professionals by next year. Is that right?
Yes. So we've done 3 runs so far, Lynn, and that comes up to about 60 people today. We had 3,000 applicants, and they come from a range of very different backgrounds. So far, we have had an optometrist, an offshore research engineer, a tutor, a chef, a professional musician, and a news editor, just to name a few. Wow. And they've all graduated, and they're now full-fledged software developers and programmers. And over the next couple of years, we hope to train a few hundred.
And are we talking about mid-career professionals or fresh graduates?
It's a mix. About 2/3 of them are mid-career professionals, and 1/3 are fresh grads. Interestingly, about 1/3 are ladies and 2/3 are gentlemen.
Okay. And could you perhaps elaborate on what are the skills that are being trained and imparted to this group of people?
Sure. So as a start, we only have 2 requirements. One is you must be a Singaporean or a PR. And secondly, you cannot have any background in IT or computer science. If you do, they're not suitable for this program. And then they apply. Yeah, so they apply through it.
So I'm eligible.
Online. Yes, of course you are.
Okay, great.
You just have to take the online 2-hour test, which evaluates for quantification skills and logic and so on. And then come in for a day interview where we do evaluate for motivation because we have found that to be the most important criteria for success. The participants then go through a 3 to 4 month program Interestingly, first part of it is in soft skills, about communication, about working together as a team, because we have found that to be very important. And then the bulk of the program is about specific skill set based on what we believe the industry needs. So our first run, for instance, was in Microsoft.NET. Our second run was in low code. And our third run, which was done in partnership with GovTech, was in digital business analyst.
Interesting. Casey, I just wanted to find out, are there certain traits one must have to take up this program?
That's a great question, Lynn. I think what we've found to be the biggest predictor of success is really the motivation, the desire to pursue a different career, and the acknowledgement that it's not easy. I mean, for most of us who are mid-career or late career, learning a new skill, going back to school is not easy. In fact, one of the developers of the Step It Up program told the first batch, that you should now go back and say goodbye to your friends and family for the next 3 months, because you won't see much of them. You'll be spending a lot of time working on your projects, working together as a team. So I think those are the biggest predictors of success. But I have confidence in our hiring criteria because our graduation rate is 95%.
Wow. I love that, how Temus is playing a role in shaping the digital landscape by educating, business leaders, people who may not even be in tech, and providing insights and tools to navigate, AI tech-driven business landscapes. What I find most interesting about this is that Temus itself is a startup, but within 3 years, you've moved from a startup into a 400-strong workforce, offering services like you mentioned earlier, from strategy to design, transformation to technology. Would you like to share some of the significant milestones or memorable experiences that meant something to you, Casey?
Yeah, well, I think I still consider us as a startup because we're only 3 years old, even though we're about 400 over people today. And I recall when we started, we had a hypothesis based on what I shared earlier about the requirements and why the market is not working. But quite frankly, as a company without any track record, we were trying different things to win clients over. And it was like the wild, wild west. I think Otto von Bismarck famously said, right, making law is like making sausages. Everybody wants to enjoy the outcome, but nobody wants to see how it's done. Building companies is the same. But I think we fortunately found some clients who were unhappy with the status quo and prepared to give us a chance. And we've built on that to get a track record. And now I think it's hopefully easier for us to win clients over.
Speaking of which, coming back to the core of Temus's work, what are the key challenges that you see when working with large enterprises in terms of helping them unlock opportunities in their digital transformation efforts?
I think a common perception that it's not a leadership issue. It is many CEOs choose to delegate it to their CIOs. And I think when it comes to the core of digital transformation, the CEOs must own the agenda, because digital transformation provides the opportunity to reinvent the business model, and companies must acknowledge that. Otherwise, it's bound to fail if we delegate it to somebody else or try to get different business units to work together without the CEO owning it and driving it.
And what about smaller businesses? What do you think should be the key focus areas that such businesses should prioritize when undergoing the switch to a digital economy?
For SMEs, I find that it may be better to have a platform that they can plug into. So a software as a service model may make sense, because it's very hard for SMEs to, firstly pay and then incur the cost of implementing a bespoke model. So this is where perhaps an industry-level solution makes sense, and perhaps the government can also play a role in terms of catalyzing this.
Okay. So tell us, what's next for Temus?
We are today 400 strong. I hope that we can continue to grow on this track, where at the end of this year we should be serving both public and private sector equally. And I'm quite gratified by the transformation work that we've done. Not just in terms of Step It Up, which provides good jobs and digital economy career opportunities, but also in terms of impact we've made on Singapore's digital landscape.
Okay, so if some of our listeners might be interested in signing up for this Step It Up program, how do they go about it?
You just go to our website. There's a Step It Up portal, and they just sign up for it and go and take the 2-hour online test. we always welcome interested participants. No age criteria, no academic qualifications criteria.
All right. Thank you very much, Casey, for joining us this afternoon to talk about digital transformation and the work that Temus is doing.
Thanks for having me, Lynn.
Casey Yeoh, CEO of digital transformation technology company Temus. Thank you.